Hello, Aries. Welcome to your season and happy birthday to all my fellow Aries. It was just my birthday a couple weeks ago, so I'm definitely feeling this exciting, awesome Aries season. So we're going to get into the reading for April. And this Aries energy, it's a little subdued, I feel, compared to last year because we have a lot of earth sign energy, but now it's transmuting to water, and soon Pisces energy is going to be taking over. So very, very interesting for sure. But, you know, it's still our season. We still got to live it out. Still have some fun. Woo! Have some cars shooting out at me, which is, you know, very Aries. It's like, let's go. All right. So what I'm starting out with here is a signifier, main energy circulating us in April. And then we're going to get into the spread. Very interesting what I just pulled here. Okay, so yesterday, I just released my written mini Tarotscopes that I always do every month as well, but it's for my Instagram page. And I pulled Temperance for Aries, and now I'm pulling it again, but it's reversed. So this is interesting that Temperance is kind of a stalker coming through, and then I have Imagination as an oracle card in connection to this energy. So Temperance, I feel, is a very mysterious card. And it really is about duality, but it's a different duality than what we kind of see with Gemini energy. And in traditional tarot illustrations, what Pamela Coleman Smith illustrated was actually a hermaphrodite to portray this Temperance energy, or if you want to call it like intersex energy. And it really is thinking about the masculinity with Mars, Aries ruling planet, and then also the subtle Pisces energy coming through that's very feminine. And if you are like a March Aries present, you do kind of have this a little bit more of a softer Aries energy coming through. It's more like the sheep, whereas like the Aries April energy is more like the ram coming through. And, you know, Aries, they do come off as kind of shy. They're not going to be the loudest in the room. They'll be the loudest in the room once, you know, they have to speak up for something and take initiative and control of something, but you're not going to see an Aries feel the need to be the center of attention, more like a Leo would need to feel that drive, because Aries are very wise and know like when it's time to speak, it's time to speak, and then people will listen when you do decide to elevate and step up. And I feel like this Temperance energy is kind of reminding us this Aries season, and for April coming through, especially once some Taurus energy comes through at the end of the month, that we cannot lose our softness. We cannot harden our shell despite the chaos happening in the world, or, you know, we can't let rejection or hard situations, you know, make us not feel our heart. Like we have to still stay soft and use our imagination in the process of how we can do something different for our lives, how we can have this new beginning. It's like, you know, learning from the disappointment. And like Aries, like we learn the best by just doing it. We can't like read about it. We have to experience it full on. And that experience can sometimes lead to a lot of disappointments because we had this vision of how we wanted it to go. And then when we actually like do the thing, sometimes it lives up to our expectations, and sometimes it kind of like discourages us, or it doesn't live up to that vision. So it is like, don't be afraid to use your imagination this season. Don't be afraid to dive into your creativity. And we're having this resurgence of Pisces energy, so we can reclaim a lot of the mysticism, a lot of the ideas, the visions, the creativity that was calling us back in February and the beginning of March. So it's time to reclaim that. It's like we have a second chance to do something with that magic that we were receiving, and we were, I don't know, I'm getting lost for the words, but pretty much like that magic that we were accustomed to and welcoming into our life, you know, it kind of left a little bit, or was kind of put on the back burner for like, okay, at another time I'll tap into these things. And now April's like, no, do those things. You have those ideas, do them, go forth, have your imagination kind of run a new course of action for you. And don't be afraid to do something different. Don't be afraid to pick back up where you left off. It's just, you kind of have to let use your imagination to inspire a path forward. All right, so I'm using one of my new decks here. This is Neo Tarot. This is a non-binary tarot deck that I got at House Witch in Salem. That was my little birthday vacation. So super fun. Definitely recommend going to Salem. It was incredible. So this deck has been really vibing with me lately. So this is going to be the one we're using this time. Okay. All right. So what I have here is the Page of Swords upright. I had the Wheel of Fortune upright. And then I have the Queen of Wands upright. So we love to see her or them come through. So what I have here with the Page of Swords, really using our voice at this time. Mercury is in Aries. It's going into Taurus soon. Again, the 10th, it's going to go into Taurus. So it is like the next like couple days of this month of April is like really using your voice, really stepping into your power, declaring your truth. What is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to see? Like, be the change that you want to see. And ironic enough, I lost my voice most of Aries season. It's just coming back. So apologies if I don't sound fully like myself, but it's just like, you know, really important. It's like, use your voice. Like, that is your superpower. That is your greatest tool. That is your weapon. And even if you don't really have everything all figured out right now, at least speak to something. That's a start. We're not going to find the right words at the right time all the time. We're not going to be able to be cohesive and coherent in what we're trying to express verbally, but at least like we are speaking to things and just doing the damn thing. That is enough in itself. But there is kind of this like youthfulness that comes through, like this innocence that comes through with the Page of Swords, because it is like, you know, we're speaking to something, the imagination is flowing, we have these new ideas coming through, and it's up to us to express them, but also communicate them with others, and thinking about, you know, who can I get on my team? Who can I get to help me? What is it that I want? Maybe people want to know what I want. So sometimes I feel like we know what we want because it's internal, but we have to remember to express it and tell other people like what the deal is. And that is like what the Page of Swords is showing up as. It's like, you know, express yourself, open up your heart, you know, what is on your mind, tell people, and then you can like kind of form a constructive plan of action once those ideas kind of are out in the open. So don't be afraid to use your voice. And the Wheel of Fortune is favoring this energy. You know, right now Jupiter is in Pisces. It's exalted in Pisces, and it's feeling really good. And I think if you're Aries that has strong Pisces placements, or you're like a March Aries, and then even just like all this Pisces energy that's going to be coming into April for the rest of the month. So we have already Venus went into Pisces on April 5th. So we have that transit. We have Neptune and we have Jupiter in Pisces all year long, pretty much. And then we have Mars going into Pisces in a couple of days. And then we also have Mercury eventually towards the end of the month coming into Pisces. So it is just like this, yeah, it's just like a lot of this Pisces energy is just going to kind of steer that wheel with our imagination, steering that wheel with love and compassion, steering that wheel with spiritual trust. And that is kind of the action we want to see moving forward. But we're going to be divinely protected here with this Jupiter Pisces energy, and also the Wheel of Fortune. It's like showing up. It's like, okay, like if you use your imagination, if you speak things into existence, this is the wheel. This is how the wheel is going to turn in your favor. So don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to kind of disrupt the peace a little bit. Because I think a lot of us were kind of like hesitant. Like, should I do this? Should I, you know, speak my heart? Should I speak my mind? Like, but it's kind of like we are afraid that, you know, of the repercussions of expressing ourselves, when Temperance reverse is just like, no matter what, you have to do this. You have to get this off your conscious. You have to get this off your mind, off your heart. And your imagination can see this working out. Your imagination knows what it needs, but it needs for you to trust in this vision, trust in your voice, trust that things can work out in your favor, even if it's not the results that you seek. Once you start expressing yourself, it is ultimately still in alignment for you, because sometimes we just need to do it just to see, as an Aries. And I think for this energy coming through, it's like, open up your heart, just do it. If it feels good, do it. There's never going to be a perfect time to do it, as long, because if you feel compelled to do it, like, that's kind of like, now is the time to do it, even though like our conscious is like, it's not going to be the right time. It's like, no, if you're feeling compelled to do it, it's the right time to do it. Everything will work itself out in its own way, and you just right now have to step into a little bit of naivety and just go. And then the Queen of Wands is here, as this is the card of Aries. We love to see it. And this card is really saying, like, you're going to feel so much more in attunement with who you are, and your soul, and just your purpose and your authenticity, once you decide to move beyond your fear, move beyond trying to keep the peace all the time. You're going to feel more Aries. You're going to feel more yourself and centered once you express yourself and be like, this is what I want, and this is what I was thinking. This is who I am. This is me. Unapologetically. Unfuckwithable energy. And I think it's really, you know, standing strong, standing in our truth. Like, we rule the self, and we are always kind of a demonstration of like telling other signs, you got to be you. And it's like, well, we got to take that lesson into ourselves, and we got to be us. We got to be like, oh my God, you know, I'm doing the damn thing. Like, I got to use my own wisdom on myself that I keep on telling others. I have to express myself. I got to stand in my power. I got to stand in my truth, and like move past fear and move past uncertainty, and that not everything is together all at once. It's just kind of fragmented pieces, but at least you have some pieces to gather some truth and some sense of what is going on, and use that to your advantage. Everything will work itself out, but right now it's just like we got to use this Aries energy to move and to express ourselves before we kind of get a little bit more delusional and fantasy driven once all this Pisces energy washes over us in the rest of April. All right, so I'm going to pull some clarifiers to go along with these cards here. Interesting messages coming through. Okay, so what I pulled here for the Page of Swords, I have Magic is Immediate. I have Playing God for the Wheel of Fortune. And then I have Monday, the messages of Monday for the Queen of Wands. All right, so magic is immediate. Just go forth. You'll be surprised once you start using your voice as your tool, as your greatest weapon, to cultivate this future, this, you know, imagination that's coming through, to get that into reality. You'll be surprised at the results. It's like magic is immediate. People are waiting to hear what you have to say, and people have probably been waiting for a while to know what's on your mind. And you might be pleasantly surprised at the results that you get by expressing yourself. Playing God with the Wheel of Fortune. So I think that's like the perfect card for this energy, because it is definitely, this wheel is turning, and it's about choices. It's like, if you make certain choices, if you decide to express yourself, if you decide to just go after what it is you want, put yourself out there unapologetically to see what results you get, you kind of are putting your world and your universe in your own hands. Like, you are in control of your own destiny and fate if you decide to take a chance, if you decide to kind of disrupt the balance, disrupt the flow. Sometimes we got to disrupt this piece in order to get us closer to what we want, because we can just be waiting forever. Sometimes alignment happens through patience, and sometimes alignment happens through just kind of being reckless and just doing it. And right now, we have the opportunity to play God. It's like, how is this going to go if we react in this way? How is this going to go if I reach out to this person in this way? How is it going to go if I stand up for myself? Excuse me. And I make this chance and take this initiative. How is that going to work? It's a season of action. The messages of Monday here with the Queen of Wands upright. We really have to look at this time as a new beginning in our lives. You know, Monday is the start of the week, and it's also a rule of the moon on Monday. So it is a lot of reflection. It is a lot of unconscious desires kind of coming to the surface, and like these little sunflowers here. And we have to reclaim our time. We have to reclaim the messages that we've received from the past and use that as guidance for the future. So have this be a teachable moment as well, but also know that you're expressing part of your unconscious desires. All right, I'm going to pull here some astrology cards, and then that will be the reading. Woo, this one's just jumping out, so we're not going to stress our lives. I'm going to pull a timing card here. All right, so what I pulled here is the 5th house, which was Leo. I have the North Node, and currently the North Node is in Taurus. South Node's in Scorpio. And then I have, for timing, I have 9 o'clock, so this can be 9 a.m., 9 p.m., 9 days, 9 weeks, whatever 9, references for you, 9 months, 9th day of April. So let's start off with this 5th house energy. I think there's just so much love in creative self-expression coming through with this. And it is just really saying, like, you are in harmonious balance with the desires that you want. And your imagination is inspiring these desires to come forward. And now it's up to us to put action and to verbalize and communicate and express ourselves and let other people know of these desires. And if we desire them, let them know. Aries are not one to hold back. And I feel like we've been a little hesitant on when we should speak, because we're learning, we're maturing. The baby is learning. And I think for us, it's just like, we don't want to do a detriment to ourselves. We have to be ruled by our nature, and our nature is to act. Our nature is to respond. Our nature is to initiate. And we have to do that this Aries season. We have to honor it, because we only get one season, our own season a year. We waited like 11 months for this. So it's like, what is it that you want to proclaim and declare out into the world, and to who, and to what, and to why, and to how? And the North Node in Taurus right now is really telling us, looking at stability, looking at what we value. And, we're doing these things because we find some value in them. And, maybe this value will lead to something worth, building, leading more towards longevity, and reward, growth. There's so much growth, there's so much abundance, but we just have to use our voice, and words are spells, so we have to cast them out. And I have 9 here. Maybe 9 o'clock is the power time. 9 in the morning is when we get going on some of these new messages of the Monday. Or, it's 9 p.m. is when we're like, okay, time to stop work, time to enjoy our lives and do the thing, connect. disconnect, whatever it is. And, you know, thinking about the number 9, and it is a very spiritual number, thinking about the alignment with 9 in our lives and having that energy kind of circulate itself through April. So thinking about, you know, what's going to happen, like if we act now, what could the next 9 weeks look like? You know, we have an opportunity to kind of play God at this time, but we have to use the magic to instigate that godly goddess energy that's inside of us. So Aries, that is your reading for April. Thank you so much. And if you want a personal reading with me, I'm booking currently for April and May. I have astrology readings as well, if that is something you're more interested in. So check me out. Also, I do have a fabulous collection of spell candles. They were poured on the Aries new moon, so the magic is next level. And I have a lot of awesome vintage trinkets as well in my shop. So definitely check out all the things. And thank you so much. Happy Aries season. We're literally the best. Love you so much and talk to you soon. See ya.